Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to have a look at source. Now, a quick reminder, when you're looking at the source, you should always think firstly about the provenance. Now, provenance means where does it come from? So who made it? When did they make it? Where did they make it? The next part is the message. What is the source telling you? So what is the person who makes the source? What is the thing? What are they trying to tell you? Then you think about the purpose. Why did they make this source? What do you think their aim was, their goal was when they made this source? And usefulness. Do you learn anything? What does it teach you? Now, useful isn't the same as reliable. So it's not asking, do you trust this person? But do you learn anything from it? So even if something you might think, well, they're lying, you could still learn something about what people said at the time and what people thought at the time. Now, the source we're looking at is this one, by which is a speech by Pope Urban II. Now, the Pope is the head of the Catholic Church, and at this time, the people going on crusade would have been Catholic Christians from Europe. So this would have been the head of their church, and they believed that the Pope was a messenger from God. So let's have a look at what the Pope says about this crusade. So he starts with, brothers, I speak as a messenger from God. Your fellow Christians in the East desperately need help. Okay, the Saracens have attacked them and have pushed it deep into Christian land. So the Saracens in this case are Muslims. They're killing great numbers of Christians. They're destroying churches and land. In the name of God, I beg you all to drive out these foul creatures. So foul in this case, foul is usually like a bad smell, but in this case it means evil. Your own land has too many people. There's not much wealth here. The soil hardly grows enough to support you. Set out for Jerusalem. So that means go to Jerusalem. Take that land from the wicked infidel and make it your own. So wicked is like evil, and infidel is someone who's not part of your religion, who goes against your religion. So he's saying there isn't enough land for you here, and the land isn't very good. You can't grow things in the soil. But if you go to Jerusalem, you can have land there and it'll be much better. Then he says, if you die on the journey, or if you are killed in a battle against these Saracens, all your sins will be forgiven at once. God himself has given me the power to tell you this. So he says that's his way of saying, because God has said it to him, that's his guarantee. If you die, you won't be punished for anything you have done wrong in your life. And that includes things like killing people. So sin is something you've done wrong. And Christians would have believed that in the next, after you die, you would be either rewarded, God, you'd get into heaven for for having a good life, or you would be punished for your sins in either hell or purgatory, which would be a place of suffering where you would stay until you'd suffered enough to be forgiven your sins to get into heaven. But if you go on this crusade and you die, you won't have to. You'll go straight to heaven, and he's guaranteeing God has said this. Some of you have spent too much time fighting against your fellow Christians, but now you must fight the Saracens. Let bandits become soldiers. Soldiers who have been fighting for money must now fight for heavenly riches. So, heavenly riches is not sort of money you can hold in your hand, but all the good things that will happen to you once you get into heaven. So, he's saying about fighting fellow Christians, he's talking about wars in Europe, things like the Battle of Hastings, where it's Christians fighting against Christians. But he's saying that now you're going to become good soldiers. And instead of just getting money and land, you're going to get good things when you get to heaven. Now, this source is going to be a notebook, and there's going to be some keywords to help you out. And you're going to try to answer a series of questions about this. But if you're stuck, you should come into the meet.